All people and events mentioned in this video are purely fictional. Thank you to Underscore for helping with research for this video. William Afton is kind of a bad dude. Like, he's a really bad dude. Like, this guy sucks. And among his evil deeds, he's had several various interesting ways of unaliving people, as Stuck Inside would put it.
Yikes!
In this video, I wanted to answer the question of how many people has William Afton killed? Like, including everything that he's done, not just the kids, not just the missing children's incidents, everything he's killed. I want to figure out just how deadly this guy truly is, and I want to lay down some criteria. Everything from the books and the games does indeed count. And I will also be counting characters who are questionably William Afton, like Glitchtrap, for example. It's heavily debated if Glitchtrap is William Afton or an AI trying to copy William Afton. And either way, I think it's pretty safe to say that any deaths caused by this program are William Afton's fault, even if he's not actually there. Because, you know, maybe if you didn't murder children, you wouldn't have made an AI do this. Or if you are the AI, then you're still murdering children. Either way, it's his fault, so it counts. This, however, does not count things that are not directly tied to William Afton, like the mimic endoskeleton, for example. This thing was killing people long before it even knew what the hell a Fazbear was. I won't be including the mimic because he's pretty far detached from any Yellow Rabbit persona, and Burn Trap will also be skipped over, not because I don't think he's William or that he's not connected to William, because, I mean, look at him. But he treads this very fine line between Afton and Mimic, and I really don't want to get into that because I don't want eggs thrown at my house. I don't even know why I'm talking about this because I don't think Burn Trap would even have any evidence to say he's killed anybody. Like, I know he's guilty, but I can't make any numbers out of this. So without further ado, how many people has William Afton killed? So starting off at the earliest points in the timeline, the one that we do have confirmed was probably the first kill was Charlie, who went on to possess the puppet and is the whole reason all the other animatronics are possessed. So that's a pretty easy first victim to pin down. But then this early on, we're already getting into pretty complicated territory because was the crying child's death William Afton's fault? While technically Michael was the one who put him inside of Fredbear's mouth, William is the one who decided that Springlocks could be on the stage in the first place, and he was not properly supervising his children because he's a neglectful parent, so I'd be pretty willing to say that he is liable. Not to mention that the crying child's fear of animatronics is directly derived from how William treats him, and his attachment to Fredbear through the plushie that he monitors his kid through. This plushie led to the bullying that led to him being bitten by Fredbear. And if he had just watched his damn kid instead of leaving it up to a stuffed bear, then this wouldn't have happened. So, second one on the board, the crying child. Now, while we're talking about William Afton's own children, Elizabeth Afton definitely qualifies as a person that he murdered. So, like, he makes a robot for his daughter, tells his daughter that the robot is for her, and then doesn't let her see it because he decided to make the robot designed to kill people. So then, when she inevitably finally does go and see it, she ends up dying. Can you really blame the little girl, or are you gonna blame the evil serial killer? I blame the evil serial killer. And then for FNaF 1, we have the original MCI, and then for FNaF 2, we have the other MCI. Yes, there were two of them. Now, in the first game, Phone Guy gets killed by the animatronics in the Night 4 phone call. Now, you can say that, no, that's the animatronics who did that. That's not William. But as we can see in the novel universe and the movie universe, I think it's pretty safe to say it applies to the game universe as well. The animatronics kill people by William's command, which makes William Afton liable for Phone Guy's death. Now, since FNaF 2 takes place in 1987, we can probably assume that the victim for the bite of 87 was at the FNaF 2 location and was bit by one of those animatronics. And any of the classic animatronics, they were possessed by spirits that were being commanded by William. If it was any of the toy animatronics, they were hacked into attacking people because of William. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the bite of 87 was also William's fault. And back to William's own creations, Funtime Freddy is a murder robot, and I definitely think he killed more than 2 people. We can only confirm that he's killed 2 people. In the situation blueprints, we can see a body in his stomach, so add that to the list. Random kid, I don't know. And then there's also a Fazbear Frights story of a girl getting trapped in Funtime Freddy's stomach tank, so here we've got Millie from Fazbear Frights on the list. And while we're on the topic of Fazbear Frights, let's talk about the time Springtrap impregnated another man. The Fazbear Frights story in the flesh, a virtual Springtrap implants a tiny Springtrap baby inside of a guy's stomach, which gradually grows, then rips itself out of his stomach and the guy bleeds to death. I love this franchise because it absolutely knows no boundaries. And anything the Fun Times do, I'm counting as William's liability because he made them. And in the Fazbear Fright story, Room for One More, an employee of Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental named Stanley gets his inside slowly ripped apart by mini-renas. So there's another one for the list. I lost my red Sharpie, so if you're wondering why the next things on the board are not red, it's because I lost my red Sharpie. Andrew is a kid from Fazbear Frights that William killed, and I think he's the vengeful spirit from Ultimate Custom Night? I think? And he's, like, really mad at William. Like, this kid is, like, willing to kill people to make sure that William continues to suffer. Hands down, the angriest FNaF character. But it's weird because, like, Golden Freddy is Andrew, and also not Andrew? I don't even know. I don't know what's going on here. Andrew is such, like, a random thing that Scott threw into the lore, and I don't know what it means, but William killed him, so we can add him to the board, and I drew the Vengeful Spirit, even though I don't even know. Some people theorize the reason why Andrew is so angry at William is because William had baked Andrew into a pizza and ate him. Don't ask, because I don't know either. Now, speaking of Andrew, he's heavily tied to the Stitch Wraith character from the Fazbear Frights epilogues, and the Stitch Wraith is possessed by 3 separate spirits. Andrew, who I've already told you about, Jake, who doesn't really tie into all of this, he wasn't murdered by William or anything, I believe he died from cancer. And then the 3rd spirit is William Afton himself after the FNaF 6 fire. And William uses the Stitch Wraith to channel Andrew's rage, which allows the endoskeleton to kill people with just 1 touch. And during the time William was in the Stitch Wraith, it kills a total of 6 people. 5 just random people, you know, who cares. And then Dr. Phineas Taggart, who originally created the Stitch Wraith and eventually dies to it. Now, I think those are the only directly William Afton related deaths that take place in Fazbear Frights. I could have missed a few. I've read the entire Fazbear Frights series once, and I don't want to do it again. Now, a Tales from the Pizzaplex story that heavily revolves around William Afton is the story Pressure, which at the Mega Pizzaplex, there is an urban legends role-playing scenario at the theater. And they're setting up a stage play for Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which, in-universe, is just the events of the Fazbear Fright horror attraction. This kid named Luca is pressured into playing Springtrap at the play, and he's given the Springtrap costume. Now, Luca is well aware that Springtrap is the animatronic that William Afton, the serial killer, died inside of, and eventually came back to life as. And it turns out that this Springtrap suit at the play is a real Springlock suit, and it eventually Springlocks him near the end of the story. So this one is a pretty interesting predicament because I'm not sure if I should count this one because I don't even know. Why was there a real Springlock suit? I don't believe it's ever really fully explained unless the explanation is that this is the real deal. But it's also mentioned in the story how the suit, like, accommodated for his size and, like, stretched to fit him, which implies it's, like, supernatural in some way. If the Springtrap suit from Pressure is truly supernatural in some way, and it's not just, like, Fazbear Entertainment making another Springlock suit and telling a child to wear it, it's pretty clear that this suit would be much smaller than the actual Springtrap suit, so I'm not really sure. I'm just going to count this one because, I don't know, the play wouldn't exist without William. If William has something to do with the suit being like this, then, I don't know. It seems like it should count. I'm really glad I remembered this before I moved on, but yeah, there is one more Fazbear Fright story, which revolves around Hudson, who is the security guard at Fazbear's Fright in the story. And in this story, supposedly Springtrap uses phantoms of this guy's past family trauma to bring him to the point of insanity where he then burns in an oven. So yep, there's another one on the list. Not going to talk about this story much further because a lot of the people who like this story kind of scare me, and I'd like not to anger them. Now, in the Silver Eyes novel, William Afton does stab a police officer, so we'll count him. And I think basically every death that takes place in the FNaF movie was the result of William because he was manipulating the animatronic spirits. So we can count Bob or Fritz depending on which continuity you're going off of, who was the original night guard hired to look after the building, who was obviously killed off by the animatronics. And then we've got Hank, Carl, Max, and Jeff. I would include Aunt Jane, but the director of the FNaF movie, Emma Tammy, has actually left it ambiguous if she actually died or not, so I'm just gonna hold off on that one. Now, back to Glitchtrap stuff. Vanny is a person who was possessed by Glitchtrap, who is inherently William Afton related. And while Vanny was under the control of Glitchtrap, she killed such a large number of people that we do not even know the exact number. The all-staff meeting that happened at the Pizzaplex is implied to have been a purge of all of the Pizzaplex employees done by Vanessa to replace all of them with staff bots. And without a reference of how many employees even worked at the Pizzaplex, let alone to each individual profession at the Pizzaplex, I don't think we can really factor this in. Although there is Lewis, who is one of the people who was murdered in the meeting, so we can include him. We also know at least 9 kids went missing at the Pizzaplex, so we can probably assume that they're dead. Well, except for Gregory, whose silhouette is on this poster, so 8 kids. There are obviously many more from Tales from the Pizzaplex, but not all of those victims are really confirmed to be Vanny or Glitchtrap's fault. In fact, most of them are Fazbear Entertainment themselves' fault. You know, so, man, I'm tired. Gregory was also under the control of Glitchtrap as Patient 46 and had all 5 of the therapists murdered, so mention them here. This guy sure does love killing people in spurts of 5. We have 2 directly confirmed Glitchtrap kills, which is Jeremy. And if you don't know, Jeremy was corrupted by Glitchtrap and was driven insane to the point where he cut his own face off. And then there was the Help Wanted 2 protagonist, who was probably Cassie's dad, who was killed by Glitchtrap and turned into the staff bot, so yeah, we can count him. And I think that about covers all of the significant ones that I could at least think of. I'm sure there's a few that I missed, and I do apologize for that. Please comment below if you know any that I did miss. But yeah, I think that basically covers all the bases. And to add one final thing to the board, I think it's only fitting to say that the last person William Afton killed was himself. Because no matter what point you think he died at, it's still the consequences of what he's done. Every single version of William Afton and every single way he's died has been the direct result of something that he started. Alright, so the board is finished, basically, so I'm going to count every single person. So, got Springtrap in the middle to represent, this is the guy behind all these, so, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51 people. So guys, I did it. I answered the question of how many people William Afton has killed. While I can't get an exact number on certain areas, so I'm sure there's a few more that we just don't know about. These are all of the definitive confirmed kills. And what do we learn from this experience? William Afton is responsible for about 10 times the amount of deaths that people normally assume he is. And that is a bit of info that you can use somehow, I bet. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm working on new turtle stills right now, so I hope you guys enjoy those. Expect to see those in the next video. And yeah, I'll see you next time.